Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Great to be with you guys. So just getting set up here. And let's see. Yeah, here we go. And hope you're getting your notifications. Here we go. And we love for you to come on. So let me just turn my microphones on. And I'll try and say hello to you guys. Hey, how are you? Good to have you on with us this morning. Okay, let's see if we get a few folks here. And if we can say hello. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Who's first? Rosalinda. Brahim, you're number 2. And Janice from Brampton. Judy, how are you? Paul, good morning from Edmonton. Janine, Frida, Sharon, David, Diane, how are you? Francis Marie, and Kim, Gloria from New York. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Dennis, good morning and happy Thanksgiving, Canadians. Elaine, Karen, how are you? Cheryl, West Virginia, good morning. Lynn Marie, how are you? Coffee at hand and me too, okay? Just about the end of my... Dave, how are you? Annette, bonjour. Rose, good morning. Sharon, Wanda from Virginia. Lou, Ella from West Tennessee, how is you? Danny Lay, Iron Bridge, Ontario. Sharon. Anne, how are you from St. Catharines? Carol, how are you? From West Virginia. Brendan, Nativity. Nancy from Iowa. Milika from Stouffville, Ontario. Faye, how is you? Mona and Darlene, good morning to you. Patricia, good morning. How are you? You said you saw who? Kevin and Sandy before? I didn't even see Kevin's name. I didn't see Sandy's either. Evelyn, Brandon, there's Kevin. And Karen. Ornella, how are you? Deb, good morning from Harrow. Linda, New Brunswick. Sandy, in the clouds again. Lise from Sudbury, good morning. Etta, nice to have you on. We love you guys. And Francis and Rita, how are you? And Shirley, Twin Gate, Newfoundland. Patricia, we love you dearly. Carol, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland, and a couple of more. Marlene, how is you? And yeah, I saw that, Kevin. Catherine and Rita, good morning. And Ornella, did I say hi to you already, Ornella? Ann in Bethany. Dave and John, how are you? From Lefroy. Kevin saying, Kevin, our mayor, is of our private Facebook group. And he's saying hello and happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians. Okay, let me just give you a couple of headlines that I read about this weekend. We'll do a little pontificating on them. Okay, here's one. Not that this surprises you. Another article. Cancer cells require 20 to 30 times more glucose than normal cells to survive. Okay? Cancer cells require 20 to 30 times more glucose than normal cells to survive. It's interesting, isn't it? That even today, if you went to an oncologist, 90% of them or more wouldn't even talk to you about diet. They're not trained in diets. They don't look at the research for diets. They don't look at the research on sugar. Okay? And cancer cells require 20 to 30 times more glucose. Isn't it amazing that you would think as part of every protocol for cancer would include, hey, how about we cut out glucose out of your diet? Okay? And whether you went strictly carnivore as a cancer, or you went ketogenic, meaning that, under, I don't know exactly, everybody's a little bit different, but here's a ketogenic diet. You cut out carbs almost to 100%, and your body will have to burn ketones rather than burning glucose. See, it's what gets to the fire first, right? Like paper and twigs will burn first. That's what I always said about carbohydrates. Like, I'm not saying all carbs are bad, but carbs break down rapidly. And that's the point of it. That's why I am always very, very adamant on eating whole foods, foods that have lots of density, foods that are full of nutrients. What are foods full of nutrients? Well, eggs, meat, and cheese, dairy, butter, and cream, and even yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. Yeah, it's good for you. Lots of protein, and you got a few sugars in dairy, but anyway, not in butter. Cancer cells require 20 to 30 times more glucose than normal cells. Ask your doctor. You know how they use the advertisement in the US? Okay? Ask your doctor if this medication would be good for you. I want you to ask your doctor, if you have cancer, should I cut out sugar? Okay? I know in our cancer hospital here, we got a big cancer center here in my hometown, and they got a Tim Hortons in it, which is, have a donut. You got cancer? Have a donut. Oh, how about a bran muffin? A raisin bran muffin. Oh, it's only got 8 teaspoons of sugar in it. 8 teaspoons of sugar in it. Doc, how about a carrot muffin? 8 teaspoons of sugar in it. So you think you're not feeding cancer with that? Anywho, okay. I don't want to get on a tangent because why don't I? Let me give you another study this weekend, okay? Well, it's actually an article I read. And let me read this to you, okay? Some of you might have seen this online, I don't know. Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong, S-H-I-O-N-G, last name, Patrick Soon, S-O-O-N, dash Shiong, S-H-I-O-N-G, okay? This guy's smart. I've been reading some articles. This guy is smart. And he's talking about cancer. And his diatribe is on chemo and radiation. And he is an oncologist. He's a specialist. But here's the article. We've waged war on cancer with tools of war. being, okay, chemo, radiation. Okay, let me just unpack this article. Okay, here's what he's saying. When you nuke the tumor, okay, you get radiation, you get chemo, they nuke the tumor, okay, with a form of, in chemo, the old mustard gas. And some of it is a little less side effects than it used to be, but still very, very much nuking. Okay, now listen to what he says. Okay, but in nuking the tumor, this is what he's saying, we nuke the patient's first line of defense, okay, which is their two things, natural killer cells and T cells, okay, natural killer cells and T cells. What do I tell you guys all the time about natural killer cells and T cells? Your lymphatics. You have a line of defense. They're called your Navy SEALs of your immune system. The problem with chemo or radiation, it nukes those guys. You know, your T cells that have antennas for vitamin D. Again, ask your doctor if vitamin D would be a good line of defense and a good line of treatment if I have cancer. Good luck with that. I know a lot of physicians, oncologists that said, don't take anything. It might interfere with the treatment. That gives me a migraine. Okay? Because you got natural killer cells, they're looking for the sun. They're looking for vitamin D. They have antennas for it. Okay? Back to Dr. Patrick Soon Xiong. I hope I pronounced it right. Okay? Chemo and radiation, okay? It kills your natural killer cells and T cells. But let's break this down in articles that he's written, okay? Let's break this down. He says, first of all, chemo and radiation induce anemia because they kill your red blood cells. Okay? They don't only kill your natural killer cells, they kill your red blood cells. Red blood cells bring you oxygen. Okay? So therefore, when you kill those, you get anemia. Okay? But he says we have a drug for that called Epogen. E-P-O-G-E-N. Epogen. They give you a medication to help with the anemia, which is caused by the treatment. That's one, okay? And they do that, okay? Not only to help your anemia, they want to give you more chemo because they have this idea that you have a cancer, we got to give you this much chemo. And guys, I'm not telling you, okay? Don't come back and say Dr. Martin doesn't want you to do chemo. I'm not telling you that. I'm giving you information. Information. Because usually you won't hear this. You'll never hear the other side. You'll never hear about the diet in cancer. You'll never hear about, if you're just, well, I got cancer. What choice do I have? And there's very little choices. Slash and burn. That's treatment for the last, what did he say? 75 years? 75 years. Modern oncology. This is the article. 75 years. Well, I've been around for almost 75 years. And I can tell you, nothing much has changed. Okay, here we go. Now, he says this, chemo and radiation induce anemia, low red count, red blood cell, okay, and anemia. And they want to continue the chemo, so what do? They give you a drug called Epigen to elevate your red blood cells. And then your chemo wipes out neutrophils. Okay, white blood cells, neutrophils. And they administer another drug. Okay, Neupogen. So Epigen and Neupogen. 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 Okay? To counteract that, the fact that you're destroying your neutrophils, because that's what chemo does. It takes no prisoners, guys. Chemo doesn't take any prisoners. It just wipes out stuff. Red blood cells, white blood cells, your natural killer cells, your T cells. Okay? It just wipes it out. And they're focused in, let's shrink that tumor. At all costs, shrink the tumor. So this has been going on for 75 years. And, okay, this is, I'm quoting Dr., I got to look at his name again, Patrick Soon-Shiong. Okay? Patrick Soon-Shiong. And famous for cancer research. And he's saying, this is madness. I'm quoting him. This is madness. We are systemically destroying the body's innate immune system to save it. You know what the word innate means, right? Inside your body. Your body's innate system. Okay? Your body's immune system can't help it. It sees a virus, goes into action. It sees a bacteria, it goes into action. It sees a cancer cell, goes into action. Your body's innate immune system. It's amazing. Okay? I always say it. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Unbelievable. Okay? And so, they look at, okay, and this is quoting him again. They look at tumor shrinkage over patient survival. Okay? I once asked an oncologist one time, what is the 5-year survival rate? This was on a particular patient and cancer. And I asked the oncologist, what was the 5-year survival rate? I already knew the answer. I just wanted him I wanted to see if he knew it. Okay? I said, what's the 5-year survival rate if you do chemo and radiation, what you're suggesting, versus leave it alone for this particular patient and cancer? I knew the answer of it. And he said, well, if I leave it alone or if I treat it with chemo and radiation, the survival rate, I'm not talking about the tumor shrinkage, the survival rate was the same. The 5-year survival rate was the same. And I said, well, why would you do it then? And here's the answer. This is the honest to God truth. He said, because that's what we do here. I said, well, seriously? It's because that's what you do here? That's your answer? I wasn't very popular, but I was asking the question. What's the 5-year survival rate? See, with cancer, that's important. What's the survival rate? I remember a patient. They were getting, or at least they've been offered, and they had to make a decision within, I can't remember, I think it was 24 hours. It certainly wasn't much more than 48. So right away, they just found out they had cancer, and the patient called me. And, what type of cancer and this and that. I hadn't seen them in several years, but they wanted my opinion. Well, I said, well, okay, what's the 5-year survival rate with treatment? And I said, let's look it up. It gave you a 2% increase in survival rate. I said, well, that's not much. It's going to destroy your immune system, and you'll probably die of something else. Okay? And, this article is incredible, because what he's saying is, at the end of the day, what the article is all about is the importance of your T cells and your natural killer cells, your Navy SEAL guys. And they operate on vitamin D. He even mentions this in the article. The importance of vitamin D, they don't talk about it. And the importance of your immune system in cancer. Well, of course it's important. And apparently he's developing, I think he's got a bladder treatment that I read about, a bladder cancer treatment that's been approved by the FDA, but only for bladder cancer. And they're trying to get it approved for other cancers, and the FDA is holding fast. And, it bothers me because, if you can find a medication, and apparently the medication that he's promoting, it doesn't kill your natural immune system. It actually enhances your T cells and natural killer cells. And they've approved it for bladder cancer, but not any other cancer. Anywho. Okay. And the headline on the article is the 75-year wrong turn on cancer treatment. The wrong turn. Okay? Guys, listen, I just got to tell you something. Nothing's going to change rapidly. It just won't. It's so ingrained. Cancer treatment is so ingrained. And oncologists, they have a vested interest. Okay? They have a vested interest because they get paid. And they should be paid, by the way. I'm not saying don't pay them. I'm not saying that. But I don't know about in Canada. I think this is true in Canada too. Oncologists buy chemotherapy at wholesale prices and sell it back to the insurance company, or in Canada to our health insurance at a profit. That's what I hear. Somebody tell me I'm crazy. I read about this. What? Well, now they have a vested interest. They have a vested interest Like I asked that one oncologist, I didn't even know that was happening at the time. Well, he said, that's what we do here. I said, well, if the 5-year survival rate doesn't change whether you give treatment or you don't, why would you give treatment? Well, that's what we do. Well, that's not good enough. That's not a good answer, is it? Anyway, look, guys, I've said this for a long time. You followed me for the last 30 or 40 years. Okay? A lot of you have. I'm consistent. What have I said? We're losing the war on cancer. We're not winning the war. Cancer's worse than ever. It's like we're giving each other high fives. This is it Cancer Prevention Month or is it Breast Cancer Month? I can't remember. Or was that last month? I can't remember. What's October? And I want to scream. We raise not millions and millions of dollars a year for cancer research. A lot of it never goes to cancer research, first of all. But you got guys like, I got to remember his name now, Dr. Patrick Sun Xiong. Okay? And if it was going towards his research, man, I'd like that. I think that's a great idea. I'd love to see them. I know research had been done on vitamin D, for example, in cancer. Okay? Good luck trying to get it published. Good luck trying to get it as part of a protocol for cancer. Good luck. I'm not saying it'll never happen. I just don't think it'll happen in my lifetime. Okay. Anyways. Okay, let me just see here. I got other studies. And, yeah. Let me see. Okay. Demonized food. Okay, just because this was an article. Demonized food. And I kind of laughed because it's so true. It's so true. Think of foods that have been demonized, that are good for you. Okay? You know the list. Talk about them every day. Okay? Eggs. They've been demonized. Okay? Eggs are more in vogue now. But come with me back to the 70s and the 80s and the 90s about eggs. Okay? And cholesterol. Okay? So eggs, demonized. And any friend of this podcast knows that is crazier than being a hoot owl if you're against an egg. Okay? I just the nutritional value. Butter, another demonized food. Oh boy, did I ever watch that. In the 1970s, okay? And I was screaming John the Baptist loud in the wilderness. You guys are crazy. With the introduction, especially in the 70s, it came before that a little bit, but especially in the 70s, margarine over butter. I tell you, folks, it was craziness. Because, listen, here's what I do with people, Okay? Bring me a steak. Okay. Now give me the nutritional value of that. What's in steak? What's in butter? What's in an egg? Tell me all the vitamins. Tell me all the minerals. Tell me all the macros. Tell me what's in it. That's all I want to know. Don't give me your propaganda. Just give me science. Okay? Now, let's take margarine. Tell me what's in it. How do they make it? Oh, they use oil. Okay. Oil that was made for your car makes margarine? Yeah. Bugs. I don't know about the size of the brain in a bug, but bugs are smarter than human beings. Why? Because they won't even touch margarine. Put out some butter, okay? Put out some margarine outside and watch what bugs go to. Bring any animal and see which one they'll go after. They're smarter than we are. Margarine, a bug goes, why would I want that? There's nothing in it. Butter, I like that. And the fat police and the cholesterol police in our in the school of dietitians, in the school of cardiologists, in the school of almost every physician, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's propaganda. It's not science. It's propaganda. And butter got vilified because butter's got cholesterol. Anything, animal foods, the animal kingdom has cholesterol. Equals cholesterol bad. Okay? So vegetable oils, no cholesterol. Okay? Seed oils, no cholesterol. Good. Animal fat, bad. Says who? Where are your vitamins? Where are your fat-soluble vitamins? Oh, in animal fat. Yeah. Uh-huh. It's in animal fat. And when the whole premise is wrong, if the whole premise is wrong, cholesterol bad, fat bad, animal fat bad, what can I say? And, people are pushing back now. They're pushing back. I've been pushing back for 40 years, 50 years. It's crazy. Always said it. It's crazy. You made cholesterol a bad guy. That's why eggs, limit them. You know how many thousands and hundreds of thousands of physicians said that? Limit them. Oh yeah, you can have an egg. 1 or 2 a week. You can have 10 eggs a day. You're better off eating an egg. Think of anything else other than a steak. Other than a steak. What could be better for you? Now you got a whole, guys, religion that's been developed over food. Okay? Veganism and vegetarianism. It's religion, folks. It's not science. Because if you take science, you have to look at the nutritional profile. You have to look at the nutritional density and profile of foods. And because there's cholesterol in it, oh, well, see, cholesterol's bad. It's going to give you heart disease, give you a heart attack. It's clogging up your arteries. No, it's not. No, it's not. And so people ask me all the time, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, including Christmas. I get questions about cholesterol. Doc, my doc says my cholesterol's too high. And I usually say, it's not high enough. It's not high enough. You want to lower it? I want it. It's not high enough. Foods that are vilified. Okay? Steak. Eggs. Right? Butter. They vilified it. And I was kind of chuckling, you know. They vilify these things. And was it true? No. Wasn't true. Never true. Never will be true. But you guys know better. And, but anyway, I thought I'd bring that out. I could do coffee too. That's been vilified. It's acidic, Dr. Martin. It's no good for you. Yeah. I used to say I got 150 studies. I've got over 200 now on the benefits of coffee. I always told you that's a real vitamin C. Okay, I pontificated long enough this morning. Guys, we appreciate you coming on. For our Canadian friends on this holiday Monday, thank you for coming on. For my American friends, thank you very much for being faithful to this program. We appreciate it. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Tell your family. Okay? Because we're going to give you the truth about nutrition here. And very opinionated. Okay? Very opinionated. Anyway, that's me. Okay, we love you guys dearly and sincerely. We'll talk to you soon.